Number 8, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Samurai Pizza Cats. I love this series so much. Now, what's interesting about this series is actually one of the first animes during the huge anime invasion during the 80s and 90s that actually admit that it was from Japan. It actually played on that fact. And they did a lot of really goofy stuff. I mean, it was one of these animes that they took and they completely wrote their own dialogue to it, and it worked. It worked really well. It's funny. It totally is breaking the fourth wall all the time, and making you thoroughly enjoy it. It's just a fun series, and the one thing that I will complain about it though is the bad guy. The big cheese is a fox, and it's clearly a fox. However, through the entire series, he'll be referred to as a mouse and or rat. He's a fox. There's no getting around the fact that he's a fox. Fox. Anyways, so if you're really looking for a series that's just fun, campy, and good, watch this series. I can't find the Japanese version, and I think that's a good thing because the American version is what I watch and what's I'm recommending. It's fun, it's campy. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Number 7, Midori Days.
Alright, just FYI, if everything doesn't look the same, it's because I realized I didn't film this part, so I'm quickly editing it back in. My hair might, yeah. Midori Days. Where to even begin with this series? I guess the best way to start with this series is start with the actual plot. Midori Days is about a young boy, high school student, who has this incredible ability of fighting. He beats people pretty well with his right hand, which he calls his demonic right hand of doom. However, there's more to this guy than just some street punk that likes to fight. He's actually a helpless romantic and wants to have a girlfriend. However, his actions have scared off all potential girls, which frustrates him. So one day he goes back to his place where his parents are strangely missing. Seems to be a theme in anime. Anyways, he lays down on his bed and he goes, "Man, I wish I had a girlfriend." In which he hears a girl's voice say, "Oh, really? I'll be your girlfriend." And after searching the room for a little while, he realized that this voice has come from his right hand, which has turned into a girl. Like a puppet-sized girl. I really wish I was making this up, but I'm not. In any case, that's the general plot of the series, is them dealing with the fact that, well, she's a puppet girl thing. And, he can't use his right hand, and actually they do some really interesting things that I wasn't expecting them to actually do. They actually do things that generally they don't do in comical shows series like this. They really bring in kind of a darker aspect with the main female character who's the right hand and everything, and generally it's very well done. I say if you're looking for something that's just little off the beaten path and a little strange, a little odd, this is totally your anime. It's just kind of kooky, and the jokes are pretty. The jokes are pretty funny, and yeah, I know, there's gonna be a lot of masturbation jokes with this series, but you gotta take it where you can take it or leave it. It's a fun series. I like it. I would highly recommend it to somebody.
Number 6. Ronin Warriors.
Ronin Warriors. Now, this anime really shouldn't be on this list, in my opinion. However, if you ask many anime watchers nowadays that are, you know, didn't grow up during the 80s and 90s, and you mention Ronin Warriors, they will look at you and go, who? In which you will have my permission right now to just bitch slap these people as hard as you fucking can. It was a great series. Again, this is a series I'm going to have to recommend to watch in English because, well, no matter where I look for, subs for this series, they're always really bad. And what I mean by really bad is that for some reason they just kind of forget to subtitle like half the episode. So you'll be sitting there for like ever with one little thing of subtitles, and I thought it was just the fact that subtitles were stuck. I've checked, I've tried, they just forgot to do it. Plus, if you watch the American version, especially if you have the DVD box set, in between episodes you get kick-ass commercials for the figures. I mean, that's pretty awesome. You gotta admit that. Now, essentially, the Ronin Warriors are about, a group of warriors who are trying to fight this evil daimyo and from the spirit world and whatnot. The plot is not what matters. It's the character development and just the sheer awesomeness of this series. It's phenomenal. It's wonderful. If you haven't watched it or you don't know what it is, have someone punch you in the face and then go out and see it.
Number 5. Blackjack 21.
Blackjack. Blackjack is again another one of these Tezuka animes. Now, this series I actually didn't find out about until I went to Japan and started taking notice of this guy, and my God, is he awesome. He's a renegade surgeon who goes around performing highly risky and illegal surgeries for people who desperately need them for an exuberant amount of money. That's awesome. And I actually like the character. He's pretty interesting. And I'm not going to go too deep into him because we'd be here all day. And, there's a lot of interesting characters in typical Tezuka fashion. If you pay attention in the anime, you'll see all the different other Tezuka characters. Which is, once again, Tezuka had this wonderful system of making his other characters make appearances in other pieces of his work. Now, I'm going to recommend the Blackjack 21. It's the most recent, and it's one that I've been watching. However, if you can find the older stuff that will actually explain the backstories to you, I also will recommend that highly because it's fairly interesting, and also just, little tidbit of information. Tezuka originally went to med school. The godfather of anime was training to be a doctor before he decided that he was going to become a mangaka. So a lot of the stuff that's being presented in Blackjack is actual real medical information that he kind of spices up to, make it more interesting. Now, this doctor is way more interesting than House and the cast of ER. I highly recommend it. The only thing I think of that would be anywhere close to this is the show where the renegade doctor makes house calls. Yeah, because America totally didn't rip that off.